Hi guys, welcome to part 2 of going over the supplies that we are going to need for class this Thursday. Oh my goodness, I can't believe it's here already and I'm so excited. Okay, so you really probably don't need a squirt bottle, but you could use one. Okay, optional, your squirt bottles. You do need just whatever brushes you have on hand. Have those on hand if you've got favorites, those. Water bowls. You know I like clean water. And I'm not going to lie, I will probably have like a row of water bowls. And then I'll also have this little water bowl guy right here. My rinse well. Just because I'm kind of crazy about clean water with my watercolors. And optional, of course, is salt. Now, I've got coarse salt in this one, and in this one, I've just got table salt in here. In the packet that I sent you here last year, it is coarse salt that is in there. So optional. These you probably have you should have these in one of the packets that I sent you, just for mark making tools that are great for watercolor. This one was actually recycled packaging, so I'm always on the lookout for cool things. So that's where I got those. Not necessary, but you might as well have them on hand. Okay, we've got the wax. Both of these here are wax cording, and this is for binding your Midori book, your little books together, putting the signatures together. These are all washi tapes that I thought just might be fun. As you're working in your book, you might just want to slap some tape on a page, and they're just fun. So that's why I sent them, because they're just fun, right? Okay, so let's keep moving on here. Move this stuff out of the way. Now, my things aren't packaged like yours. Mine are a little different because I've got them ready for class. So your paint palettes, I went really different this year, guys, because the fabulous Candy let me get Daniel Smith Primatech Watercolors. That's what these are right here. And this means that most of these, as you can see on here, I hope you can see, they have granulating qualities. Now, this one really doesn't, but it's a great, this one's a great mixing with the others because the others all have. So if you're thinking that that's dirt on there or that's dirty, no. Those are the awesome qualities of that paint. And it's so cool for really getting in touch with nature. Now, just so you know too, all of the adults just got a little bit of the paint. I actually sent a bigger swatch to all of the girls. And another thing to know is that when you put this paint down, it shrinks. So it might look like you didn't get a lot, but the paint shrinks, and that's a normal characteristic as well. But you're not going to need as much because I've already done your color chart, because I wanted to put these all together, and because I wanted you to have this color chart as well. And these are just the colors going across and down. This is a full strength of the colors, and then this is the way watered down of the colors. And you know, you could probably, I mean, there's so many tones you could get even in between those two. So this is just a really great reference for you to have. Oh, look how gorgeous. Like, look at these colors, people. They're gorgeous. So I love them. And there is a piece of, I forgot the name of it. I special ordered it. I love this stuff. But it's just great to put it in between your palettes and stuff so that they don't wash off onto other things. So don't throw that away. I put that in there on purpose. Now, the other thing is, you are welcome to put these in your Midori. But for class, don't. Let's just go with that. For class, do not put those in your Midori. This is the Daniel Smith Watercolor Essentials. And these 6 colors are the most popular Daniel Smith colors, and they are fabulous for mixing. So we've got that glorious palette there, and then on the other side, you've seen, oh my goodness, like really? Like, look at that lime green, Be Still My Heart, and that olive green. Oh my goodness. Look at this. Look at this color right here, guys. Look at this color. Okay, would you think that looking at these colors here, that you could come up with some of these colors? This is so valuable. So I really wanted you to have those color charts. So I used a lot of the paint beforehand because I wanted to take the time to make sure you guys had these, because this is the most valuable tool right here, are the color charts and what you can do with them. So these are Daniel Smith watercolors, and these are from Blick. That's usually where I shop and get all of my artsy stuff. But these are artist grade watercolors. These are what most professional artists want. And I think it's really important that you get to try some of these professional artist tools, because sometimes you get turned off of some people might not like watercolor because they hated how the paints work together and stuff. Well, maybe they had a preschool grade or a student grade of watercolor, and those are nothing like the professional. So it really is just awesome for you to be able to try the professional, because they change your world. They change your world. So these you will be using, and you will be using those. Okay, so I'm going to keep this here just so I remember. So you've got a little bag that you've got like this funny little dish in. I'm going to pull this out. Yep, mine's a little different because I've got notes here of things I want to remember. So in here, what I've done for you is create, like, say this was my Midori page, and it's not finished. You don't have to finish them in one setting. And here's the thing. If I wanted to just add a drop of paint right here, or if I didn't want to add any more paint, but I wanted to call this finish, it's finished. Like, how cool is that? So this would be in my Midori book. Okay. So here you've got, on this little styrofoam palette, you have taped down the shell that I used. Oh, it broke in. Oh, you know what? That's what that other half was. Oh my gosh, I'm such a goofball. I put the other half, I set it somewhere. I'll have to look for it later. This one broke. And so I actually took the two pieces and did this right here. So this is how, like, if you're working in nature, this is how an artist would. I mean, they don't necessarily have to measure everything right there, but it's always good. And it's so easy, guys, just to have a little. I should have got some. Why did I not get any and stick in there? I don't know. But it's great to always have a little ruler on hand too, because it's those little things, those little documentation notes. Like if you wanted to write, like, you know, it was cold, or it was no wind and clear as water that day. All of those wonderful little notes are what make it so special. So that's what I put on each of yours. This was found on the beach in Navarre, Florida, winter 2021. It was a beautiful sunny day. And then just another way to write Navarre. The more things, the more little graphs, the more little arrows, the more little notes that you add is going to make this little book more interesting, which is so, so cool. So that's where that is. Now, do not crumple this up and tear it up. This is actually a piece of washi tape. I'm going to pull it off here. So what you're going to use when you're working with your palette today, I want you to just pick your color up from here, and then you're going to bring it over to your plastic palette, your styrofoam palette, okay? So don't get rid of this. This is you're going to be your palette. So that's why this is here. And this isn't taped on, so hopefully it will arrive to you safely. These are things we're actually going to do in the class, so I'm not going to talk about those anymore. This is part of the class, so I'm not going to talk about that anymore. I just wanted to make sure you knew that the styrofoam is going to go with these. Oh, this is glassine paper. You could also use this paper for your palette. Now, the acetate, these are all in plastic bags that I sent you guys. And true story, even if you wanted to use this for your palette and just pick up your paint and put it on here, this could also be used as a palette. So there's 3 palette options for you. I want you to have at least one of them ready to go with you for class, because I only get 40 minutes with you. And that's why I'm doing this now, because we have to make the most of that 40 minutes, because I need to teach you everything I can. That's my goal. I need to get you excited and show you all of these cool things you can do in a short time. And that's why I want you to have all of it ready to go. Okay, so So we've gone over our palette and then the first project that we're doing. So let's go straight to, okay, actually, I'm going to actually redo. So you all get a giraffe. And you're like, what? So this is just a stamp set that I had. So I stamped the giraffe. And look at that. You're like, we have these funky little circles in here. And this strip of watercolor paper. Well, this was all watercolor paper scrap. And y'all, I save everything. You guys know that, right? Like I had a few strips of these. Now, oh, here's another thing too for the leaders in the group. I always end up with lots of scraps. So girls, you're going to have you've already been probably seen it, like all these random paper sizes, random papers, because they're not all the same. But I put those in there, all of those in there, because I want you to be able to play with these on the watercolor paper and the scraps. That just equals more practice for you. So, yes, I wanted you to know about that. These are supposed to be in here. Have this ready to go. Yes, we are actually going to be doing this. This is our warm-up activity, and don't get ahead of yourself either. Don't you already have it done when we start class? Because then I'm going to be like, what? You started already without us? Okay, so you don't have to do this, but see this little plastic in there? Yeah. That was from one of the plastic bags. I just took a Sharpie on one of them and kind of, who knows how I did it, but I did. Oh, it was this way that I did it. So I put this on here, flip it over, and drew just inside the white line there, and then cut it out so I could glue that to the inside of my glasses. So don't do anything with glue yet. This is why I said if you have glue on hand, because when these dry, we can assemble them, but I'm going to show, yeah, I'll show you how I assembled them anyway. So if we don't get to that on the call, you'll still be able to do it. So this is our warm-up. Have little giraffe ready to go. Have your shapes ready to go, because that's what we're going to be doing. So have those ready. And you will, I used the bright palette with that. I tried to use, I did use all the palettes. So the first palette we use is going to be this one with the, first palette we use, yes, is this one right here with this, with the Navarre one. Just so you know, in case you need that information right now, because sometimes some of us are like that. We need the information now. Next, the next two projects, we're going to be using this palette just because it's so happy. Okay. Giraffes, moving on. Then you're going to, oh, what? No, I do want to keep it that way. I know what I was doing, but I'm going to keep it that way. I'm thinking, nope, I'm going to leave it. I'm changing the lineup, but I think this way you've got more, you can make the choices that you would rather make. So you have a bunch of these on different paper. And I don't have all the same ones you have on different paper because I wanted to send you, the girls, most of these stamped already so they could try them on various kinds of paper. So, the girls are getting them on like the Master's Touch from Hobby Lobby Premium Watercolor Pad. Now this one's different. This pad, that I like this premium, this is the regular pad. The regular pad has these lines through it. Doesn't matter which direction you look with it, it's got those lines, and I did not make those lines. Some people like those, some people don't. I prefer the premium, so I would definitely, I would always pick the premium, or at least that's what I do now. So this is a great pad. I've also got some of the Strathmore stamped in there for you to try this one. We have some of this. This is what I use in my studio, and I love it. This is the Canson Heritage, and these are all cold press papers, and this is my favorite. And I buy these at I get mine at Blick, so that's where I get mine. Okay, this is another Strathmore kind of paper that we're trying because they're not all created the same. Some of this draft more, okay, this is the 400 series. The higher this number goes, it leans more towards the artistic, the artisan. The lower the number is more just student and stuff like that. And then, of course, this is what you're familiar with, because last year, this is what I did all the projects in. And this has always been my go-to pad because our Walmart always has it. But this time we're going to introduce you to some new papers, and just let you need to try that. You need to see how those work, and with the paints, it's just good to try it. So have these little guys ready to go. We're not going to color all of these in class, but have them ready to go. I'm super excited about this, and I'm not going to show you because it's so cute. I just can't. Okay, so then by now, I promise you, we're going to be running out of time in class. So then you've got this little guy right here. This is my weevils. Okay, you guys. I like to sketch stuff. Now, if you don't know what to sketch, go out to like Pinterest or just type weevils in on a search engine on Instagram or something like that. You are going to see live weevils. You're going to see weevil sketches. Weevils in every shape, way, long lines, short lines, no lines, any way you can imagine. But it's just another thing that you can do. It's just the one thing about being a watercolorist is you want to get it's the sketching that's so important. You need to keep sketching. You need to stay loose. And you're going to find that, boom, you just get better because you're just so used to drawing things out. So we'll do a weevil in class right here if you want to. This is actually, now the one over here, you can tell that's done with the earthy colors, and then this was the bright palette. Then, look at this. This is what I want to make sure you don't do, because I purposely put this in there and tried to hide it so you wouldn't. Do not pop this. This is for your project, okay? This is how we clean up, all right? So I'm going to show you how we do this. And I just did it on the back of the weevils. And here's the thing, it's so cool because now if I want to start doodling on there, if I want to draw more bugs on there, go for it. I mean, that's the wonderfulness of it. Okay, so I just wanted to make sure when I showed you this that you do not pop this, okay? Do not pop it. I know you're tempted to. Don't do it. Do not give in to the temptation. Do not do it. Okay, so the other thing I want to tell you is during class, when you're working on your palettes, and we're switching projects and stuff, do not clean off any of your palettes. Leave all of your palettes, whether they're on the foam, whether they're on a clear bag. I don't care if they're on a plate, whatever they're on, do not get rid of your palettes, leave them, okay? And actually, if you do have a squirt bottle, you are going to want it. You're going to want it. You can just watch me do this, but you're going to have more fun if you have a squirt bottle, so you can do it too. Okay, so this video basically shows you what we're working through in class, and I'm looking around just to make sure we're good, and we are. You guys, I can't wait. I will see you Thursday.